everyone's attention, please, for a second. How's that looking over there?
Good. Ready.
All right. My name's Mike Thady, for those that haven't met me, and those that have, thanks for coming back. I'm the director here for Startup Grind. We have a great team around. If you guys are on the Startup Grind team, can you stand up, raise your hand, give them a little clap. Thanks for everyone. Tonight, we do monthly events. We also partner with a couple other organizations like Rock Growth to do some happy hours and some of the coffee chats. We partner with other organizations around Rochester to collaborate on events, help out the startup community. Our goal is to educate, inspire, and connect the local community here, help advance startups and their journeys. Startup Grind is a global organization. It's got started in Silicon Valley. This event right now, we've been doing pitch-ins, for the past couple of years as our monthly events. Startups have time to present, get feedback from the crowd. Startup Grind globally, though, the headquarters is actually running a global pitch competition. So tonight is a little bit different format. We're gonna go rapid fire on these, but this is a feeder into a regional round, which will get into the global round. I'm gonna click through a couple slides. Usually I don't do this, but I just want to make sure I cover everything for the global competition. So how this came to be and where we are today, people have been submitting applications to Rochester and to other chapters across the globe. We have gotten, I think, 12 where we lined up. We were getting submissions up to the last minute, so thanks everyone who's replying to that. But tonight we'll go through these. We have a panel of judges, which is a little different than the normal pitch-in, so there will be a little bit of scoring, and we'll announce a local winner. As you can see on the slide deck here, in the next couple days, weeks, right, that's when the next set of rounds will happen. I'm gonna flip to the next piece. So there's prizes, right? The goal for Startup Grind Global is kind of help bolster their conference that they have in Silicon Valley every year. The winners that get to the finals of the global round, they will actually pitch on the main stage in Silicon Valley in front of the crowd and the investors out there. The runners-up and the finalists there will also get tickets to not only attend the event, but also have booths and exhibits at the event for a couple days. So our founders will be able to advance. Generally, we get a couple free tickets as well. Hopefully, we can get those out to the founders that want to attend. That is in Silicon Valley in April. But tonight, in addition to just advancing the next round, we were able to get some prizes. So one of the things we're going to be able to offer is we have a newly minted author in the house. Yeah. So he's going to give a personalized signing for the new book that he co-authored, and it's AI-powered search.
AI-powered search. Did we get the print copy in the mail yet?
No.
Okay.
So whoever wins can talk to Max about how personalized they want their message to be, and maybe we can do a book sign or something at the next event. And maybe that'll be another reason for more people to come back and attend next month as well. Apologies that I just didn't get shipped in time. And then we also just have fresh off the presses, another prize, Upstate Venture Connect, UBC, and Upstate Capital, both programs or organizations helping startups in the region. They're having a conference event. I think this one's in Buffalo. Is that right? This one's in Buffalo. I think it's a couple $100 ticket. They're going to donate a ticket to whoever wins tonight as well. So, very good event, and people like Jack Greco or whatever on there. So, check it out if you haven't. We'll probably put something in our newsletter. And then lastly, it fell off the page because we ran out of space, but I will buy whoever wins the beer. All right. So, how is this going to run? Again, I mentioned the format is a little bit different than if you've attended multiple of these events. So these are going to be short and condensed. It's cool because we get more startups in. It's more challenging for you guys because you have less time to make an impression. So we're going to have a 2-minute presentation and then a 3-minute Q&A, and then I'll scurry up here and try to get the next slides with as least breaks as possible. Joshua on our team is going to be our timekeeper tonight.
Yep.
So when you hear his voice and he tells you you have how much time left?
I can give a warning for 30 seconds.
Is that fair? All right.
And then for both parts.
Yep. So we'll, I was gonna say, don't be sorry when you hear, Josh chime in, recover as quickly as you can, keep moving. Judging criteria, we have a rubric. This is kind of what Startup Grind, HQ is looking for as they kind of move on. So again, we'll take any type of organization, a company, person that's got an idea or startup, or just business they're trying to grow to share at these events. This is the kind of the criteria that they're using for their rubric as they move forward. So again, if you're in the crowd tonight, you want to present, but you don't think you kind of fit these things or are concerned about those, we like just hearing all founders and all entrepreneurs present. All right. Hopefully nobody's rewriting the presentation right now when they saw this. Yeah. Lastly, I want to introduce the judges. I'm going to kind of let you guys just go round and kind of say quick who you are, what you do, kind of hello to the crowd if you don't mind, and we'll move on from there.
Sure. Sean Flaherty, ITX, been in technology for 30 years.
Yep. George Polius, advisor and investor.
Lydia Palmer, financial advisor both for individuals and for business owners.
Dustin Wilson, fresh startup community manager over at NextCore. Previously at Launching.
I'm Kyle Pacitti. I run marketing at ITX and have worked on venture-backed and private equity-backed companies for maybe 10 of my 15-year career.
I'm Deborah Ross. I publish kidsoutandAbout.com.
Thank you, judges. Thanks for giving me all very short and condensed because I know you guys offer a lot more to the community than what you're saying right now. But you guys can talk to them and get to know them when we have drinks afterwards. The next piece here will just be the batting order. We had a couple last minute ads, so for the founders that are in the room that kind of snuck in last second, sorry you're not on the slide, but we'll fire through the last one or two of those. And apologies as I'm running around, feel free. This is the cue, so as I'm trying to get the next deck set up between each one of the presentations, kind of know your order, please, and I'll start calling out people as needed. So we're going to start with Bob from Peak Performance. I'll switch over to his slides real quick. Just a quick check-in of folks at home. Can you guys hear? All right. Somebody online, if we fall off or have issues and I'm not seeing it, call or text me and I'll jump on here. Sorry for always gonna get that picture up.
There you go. You're good.
Is this good, Liz, or am I switching?
Perfect, and then is a space bar, go to the next one.
Yeah, and if not, we'll give them a
Or
discount.
page
Or
down.
we'll give you a break on
If that
time.
doesn't work, hit page down.
I'll just
Yeah,
have
that
to
usually
wing
is
it.
the other.
All right, let me know when.
You're a good start.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Bob Ank. I'm the founder of Peak Performance Analytics. McKenna Evans is our data analyst, and Holly Tang is our product developer. I'm going to start out by just discussing who our customers are and then get into our business. Our customers are strength and conditioning coaches who need data to help design training sessions, personal trainers who need to watch data, to have data analytics to give to insurance companies to show they're making progress. We also have athletic trainers who need return to play progress reports, and coaches who need to measure fatigue and understand workload needs for their particular players. And our customers have a challenge though. They're expected more and more to use data in this decision making. And so what happens quite often is the data looks like this. It's very cumbersome, it's hard to pull out what they need. And what we do as Peak Performance Analytics, we step in and help with the visualization of that data. And so what we can do is take that mess and make it look like this data here, these visualizations here. And what we do is we ask the customer, what exactly do you need, what's your requirement, and we visualize it for them. So it's easy for them to read, it's easy for their client to read. That's real important. And we have a variety of different ways of doing that. We use Python code to and
30
HTML
seconds
code
left.
to write this. And so, and we also are a sports science team where we have people ask us, okay, how do I measure this particular thing? Like this is an asymmetry graph and the other one is a fatigue measuring graph. We came up with the protocol and the measurements of how to do that. And so that wraps up basically what we do. We are a sports science team and a data science team that work with with this kind of
Okay,
thing.
that's tough.
Thank you. Just trying to get out of here.
What does your competition look like?
Our competition is online, and what happens quite often is they do the strength and conditioning part. So our competition basically does the strength and conditioning, the data analytics, the athletic training, where we don't do that. We just do, our client is a strength and conditioning coach. Our client is the athletic trainer. Our client's a personal trainer. So we're fairly unique in that sense where we're a sports science team that doesn't have a strength and conditioning coach. That's our client. So it's pretty, in the Rochester areas, there's, our first customer was U of R Fitness Science group because they couldn't find anybody, there's no one else doing what we are doing right now. I think that's going to change. Yeah.
What sort of thing are you selling your clients?
We're selling the visualization, two things basically. The visualization, if they don't know, if they need somebody to come in and take their data and visualize it, we do that for them. We sell that to them. For example, I'll just use the U of R Fitness Science team. They have all sorts of data. They're overwhelmed in data, and so they hired us to come in, look at what the requirements are, and visualize that data for them. The second thing we do is, for example, we have athletic team coaches come to us and say, all right, I want to measure fatigue of my team, but I don't know how to do that. And so we come up with a protocol to do that, measure that, and give them visualization so that on a daily basis they can decide what their workload is for that team. So we are a sports science team and a data analytics team.
Is there any IP behind how you crunch the data, or could it be replicated?
No, it could be replicated. Yeah, it's
so the value really comes from your knowledge.
From our knowledge and being able to take the our expertise is understanding the sports science field and doing the visualizations for it. But it can be replicated. It's just Python code and HTML code. So, yeah. I wish I could. We have some really interesting protocols and graphs. I wish we could trademark it. This doesn't happen. Yeah.
Business model. How do you want to monetize this? What's your business model?
30 seconds left.
What's my business model?
Yeah, how do you monetize this?
Oh, how do I monetize it? I just actually I'm here by accident. Is really what happened. I'm a physics professor, sports science coordinator at St. John Fisher, and people started asking me and hiring me to do what we do, and so we're doing it. And so people come to me and say, "Hey, how much to do this?" And I tell them, "I don't know."
Certain people. Thanks, Bob. We have Benchmark Labs coming up next. Switch over.
I should have started.
Space bar.
Space bar? Okay, cool. Let me know when
Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
going. I'm going. Oh boy. All right, hey everyone. Can you guys hear me back there? Cool, I'm Ulrich Soderstrom. I'm one of the founders with Benchmark Labs. We provide point-specific weather forecasting. We have a lot of experience in this space from McKinsey and Company, from PhDs, Masters in Data Science, and more. We're with NOAA, all in the weather and climate space. The reason we do what we do, why start a weather company, it's because of the coarse weather problem. We've done weather forecasting the same way for the last 80 years. We divide the world into boxes like a Rubik's Cube. Everyone in each box gets exactly the same forecast regardless of the microclimate. This doesn't work well at all if you're the manager of a weather-sensitive fixed asset, like a vineyard or an offshore wind farm or a nature reserve. You can actually see this cool chart up here in Rochester. These are all different weather stations around the city. You can see a 10 to 12 degree temperature difference within 4 miles of each other. It's pretty interesting. This is a weather station we installed over at a vineyard in Finger Lakes. We correct these large-scale gridded models down to the point of a weather station, but we are not a hardware company. We connect to any IoT weather station that's already installed in the field. We provide 15-day hourly forecasts on innovative variables like evapotranspiration, powder and mildew forecasts. And we do all of this to save resources, reduce pesticides, and improve yield. So we make the weather better at these locations. This is a good example of one of our customers. He's a ranch manager. He's had a lot of issues with extreme weather. So he's excessive fertilizer use. If he sprays and then the wind blows or it rains, all of that will get wasted. It could be thousands of dollars. He wastes too much water by turning on sprinklers when it's going to rain, and he has a lot of yield loss. He went to ABC News, reported that we saved
30
him
seconds left.
and increased his yield by 50 to 100%, which is pretty exciting. This is a pretty big opportunity. Weather touches everything, not just agriculture, so we're going to talk about that too. 2 main go-to-market channels. We bundle with the hardware companies to co-sell our software and hardware. We're landing and expanding with some high-value land managers. We've gotten some great funding from some great investors. We did about $100,000 in ARR last year, maybe $800K in grants. We've done 1 grants. That's it. Close.
How long have you been in this business?
We founded the company in 2021, actually the end of the year, and we were in stealth for a while developing. A co-founder and I met in 2015 actually at a hardware weather station company and kept seeing this problem. And then we went commercial in early 2023. So we did our first pilots then and some of our grants, and this will be our first year hopefully driving some revenue. We're just doing a seed round right now.
How many customers in that 100,000 ARR?
That's about 5 customers.
Can you profile them a little bit better? Or like what size customer are you seeing? Like small?
Yeah, good question. So our largest contract is $30,000 for one of the Nature Conservancy reserves. It's actually for the controlled burn team, so they have guys that are going out to prescribe fires. In remote areas, they need better weather forecasts to understand when they do these burns. So we don't have things going on like we have in LA. It's a little close to home right now.
Do the weather events impact the ability to collect and provide the data?
The weather events impact their ability to conduct the burn. So they'll get out in the field. Pardon?
Your ability to collect and provide data. I know one of the biggest issues with extreme weather events is actually getting data to people.
Yeah, it is. And so we installed, or one of our hardware partners installed a weather station out in the preserve. That's the station that we use to get weather data from. We correct the National Weather Service forecast down to a specific point. They do prescribed fires right around the area of that weather station. So that's much better for them out in Minnesota, for instance. Where their closest weather station in the past was actually in Canada. So these guys are relying on data from the next country over.
How do they get alerted of what the weather conditions are? Like, what does it look like, and what do they do as a result?
Yeah, great question. We have a SaaS dashboard that displays all this information. We also have a data API that they can pull the data into. So a lot of people have their own software. And then we license this every year. So each station that you have, we charge $2,000 per station per year. For energy, the contracts are much bigger. So we're looking at $100,000 per station. So it's a totally different ballgame. And the other half of your question was?
You answered it.
Okay.
Like how they get the data, like,
Oh.
and what do they do with it? Well,
Yes, what do they do with it? So they
like on
make-
an hour-by-hour basis or something?
Yeah,
Or?
it's a better operational decision. So in the case of the controlled burns, in the past, they used to have a lot of false positive days when they'd get out to do a burn. They'd get out in the field with 20 to 40 people in the middle of a remote area, and they'd say, sorry everybody, everyone go home. We measured the wind speed by hand, and we can't do a burn today, we're not approved.
30 seconds left.
All those people need to drive home, and they lose $10,000 that way in transport personnel. So we prevent that from happening.
Are you currently able to, or without revealing too much in the future, you'll be able to say Oklahoma, Alabama, where they get these severe microstorms like in a flash?
We need a station out in, Alabama.
So you just, what I'm saying is, if you had a station there, you'd be able, would you be, is it that fast?
Yeah,
So, you know how these tornadoes come and.
Yeah, we could retrain the model every hour, and do a brand new forecast every hour for the next 15 days hourly.
So you're a climate change solution company. Great.
All right. Next up, we have Easy Dock Tracker. Tom Kett. It's PowerPoint, PDF. Okay, with this view.
Yep, that's what I want.
You're a good start.
Really? Okay. My name is Tom Kelly, CEO and co-founder of Easy Dock Tracker. We're a web-based software application that provides secure document exchange and storage. We just completed developing our MVP, and our initial go-to-market strategy is in the real estate closing market, mainly because I had 35 years experience in that, and because it interacts with the other professional services that provide secure documents to clients. Document exchange when you're buying a home is really burdensome and costly. For sellers and buyers, you have to try and find all these sensitive documents, upload them to these large centralized databases. Businesses then, when they receive those documents, they have the burden of maintaining those documents, protecting those documents, and all the costs associated with it. It's not a very winnable scenario for either one. So at Easy Dock Tracker, we've created a win-win scenario where using patented technology and patented decentralized technology that allows the consumers to have a private digital storage vault that they have full control over. Even we can't access their documents. The businesses can request access to any of those documents without having to store them in their database, reducing their exposure in case of a data breach and reducing their cost to maintain those documents. Some of our competitive advantages, we authenticate all the users to prevent fraud. It's frictionless for the homeowners because the documents get delivered directly to their storage vault without any user interaction, and they can use it for all their other documents. These are just a sample of the documents that you need to keep throughout your lifetime and then share with other people. Imagine if you lived in Pacific Palisades, and, where are those documents today? So that's really what we're all about, is trying to protect people's documents and their information with it. Our mission is for preventing identity theft for generations to come by making your life more secure and easier.
Can you tell me a little bit about the revenue model?
So it's a B2B2C play right now, because with my connections in the real estate industry, we're going through the real estate attorneys locally in upstate New York area and providing it to their home buyers. There's two methods to it. Either they can wholesale it, so they pay us $50 for it, and then they can upcharge it, but it's a single-use version then, only for that real estate closing. Otherwise, they can have their client, if they don't want to do that, they can buy us. It's a $50 authentication charge, one-time fee, and then there's 1, 2, and 3-year subscription models for $75, $125, and $150. So very affordable.
Does that model change as we shift markets?
Yeah, exactly. We're just getting started, so that'll change.
You mentioned patented process. So how do you deal with DocuSign and some of the other boys out there?
So this is all the difference between our technology and the technology. We didn't develop that patented technology. We're the exclusive integration partner for that technology. Okay, so it's third-party technology, and but I know a lot about it. So
okay. So what's the differentiator?
The differentiator is they tie your personal identity to every one of your documents. Everything's encrypted at the document level and the field level, right? And then you have the ability to share those documents out. When you're sharing those documents, all you're sharing is an encrypted link back to your database. Everything is siloed. Everybody gets their own private piece of the cloud, so that your data is not with my data. So if a hacker does, if anybody tells you that everything's hack-proof, it's not hack-proof. Nothing's 100% hack-proof. So if a hacker does get in there, they're getting one document for one user. So it deters hacking, because they want millions of records, which is why I brought up the point of the large centralized databases.
What's your go-to-market strategy? Because you got to get people to trust, you know, that your company's going to be around.
Well, that's it. So the real estate attorneys tell us in upstate New York, what they told me, again, being in the industry, when you're buying a house, you just do whatever your attorney tells you to do. So, so that's kind of, but then, so where we are now is we're looking for investment money, because we need to do the branding, get the brand, and educate the consumers on it.
So the one thing that it's like
30 seconds left.
the way our you know, it's like your healthcare data belongs to it's residing with a bunch of providers.
Yes,
that should be it shouldn't belong to them. It should belong to you. And that's essentially what you're doing.
Thank you.
Probably use that for these slides. We have Dan Leo coming up next.
Hey everybody. Thanks for having me. Greetings. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Speech bar. Is it the one I sent last night? That's it. Great. Page down. Yeah, that's it. Now I'll make it big. Okay, great, everybody. Hi. You know when to start?
Yep, you're good to start.
Hello, greetings. Hi. So Insector G. I'm Dan Leo, CEO of Insector G. Can't really see it. This is on my LinkedIn page if you want to see it. My background is chemical engineer. I went to law school. Have over 130 patents. This is an inventor, called 45 with Insector G, 25 granted. Let me tell you how I thought of this. In 2016, there was a lot of buzz about insect products, new foods, fertilizers, pet feeds, oils to replace palm oils and seed oils. So I thought, what if I could start a company that did this? So in 2016, it was the product line was food and beverages, oils, pet foods, fertilizers, cosmetics using oils extracted from insects. We then expanded into cannabis. So you can see some of the history behind the patent portfolio, many years of work since 2016. The problem is the cannabis industry is worth $40 billion, and most cannabis companies don't have any patents at all. And most vertically cannabis companies don't have patents that cover the whole supply chain. The solution, develop an entire portfolio of patents that cover the whole supply chain for all commercially relevant cannabis and insect products. File very comprehensive patents that include hundreds of pages that have thousands of inventions in them, the ability to go back and file more. Here's some granted patents. We own patents for all vape pens, beverages, animal foods, candies, gummies, most dispensaries and finished products. So you can look through the link to the page. The whole ask is transact the portfolio with a stock traded cannabis company, increase their stock value, integrate into their culture and product lines and technology. What's the product? One product. It's owning 3 industries: cannabis industry, insect industry, and cannabis plus technology, new technology to have insects within your cannabis farm. And that is the easy button. Get years ahead of your competition. There's a broker if you're interested.
So insect oils, cannabis.
Insect oil is one product line. There's 3 product lines. There's the insect, it could be cricket farming, mealworm farming, black soldier fly farming, either for proteins, dog foods, and before you make the protein, you extract the oil through an expeller test. It's very similar to palm oil. It can be used in candy bars, cosmetics, all different types of seed oil applications made from bugs. Then there's the cannabis portfolio that has nothing to do with insects. Cannabis farms, HVAC, irrigation, extraction, purification, product formulation, beverages, nano-emulsions, gummies, every product line from that is sold in dispensaries. Then there's the combine, where most stock traded cannabis companies are doing now. If you go to any one of their websites, they're hiring entomologists because they use bugs within their farm. It is the insect farm. So that's the combination. The other is a pet food that has a new protein with cannabidiol or CBD, which is calming effect for your dog. So there's products that combine those two.
You talk about portfolio.
Yes.
Is the portfolio your patent portfolio?
Yes.
So your product or your proposition is your patent portfolio?
Yes, there's one customer.
And your business model is to license that
The business model is to transact and to sell the whole patent portfolio to the buyer, to increase their stock value, to make them the best for them to monetize.
But to be acquired for that or license it to multiple companies?
They can license it. I want to sell to them. I don't have any intention of licensing it myself because I don't have the war chest to litigate it, defend it, and I want to integrate within their company to develop their technology.
All right, thanks.
So you're doing what Kodak should have done years ago. Licensing
One of my first jobs, I did work at Kodak, but
So you're doing what you should have done.
Yeah.
let's see. No, it's.
Hey.
I love doing it, and there's a lot of potential. Thank you.
That was time. All right, next we have Kaylin.
I don't need the 30-second limit. I set the slides so they're timed for 2 minutes. So.
Okay.
Chief, now the pressure's on
Yeah.
you.
It's better work, Mike.
Oh, jeez, it's gonna self-destruct.
So this is the end of it.
Do that.
That's a
Yeah.
little bizarre there. Here we go. Slideshow. Play from start.
Okay, so my name's Kalen. I'm with Options Regards. We are an options analytics platform, and it's going to be very quick as we're not in an elevator, but this is going to be an elevator style pitch. So right here, we have the graph of Wall Street Bets, their end user count. Right now, they have 17.5 million users on their subreddit and everything, all talking about options, all trading and everything like that. Here we have, in 2023, quite a bit of these contracts being traded. In India, it's super big. I plan on going international with this platform, but in the US, it's 8 times less, if you believe. Now, retail traders, they can't trade for shit. 3 of the quantiles there, all negative on their trades and everything like that. It's just a mess for them. So we're gonna fix that. We are going to provide them with simulations, forecasts, and alternative analytics so that they can trade better. Ask me what the difference between simulations and forecasts are. Right here, we are simulating their trades. They're going to get put in their ticker, what they think the stock price is going to do, how much it's going to bounce around, and then it's going to forecast, well, not forecast, it's going to simulate that for them. Here is a forecast. Now this is going to be an actual clear, defined possibility of what the stock may do so that they can react to it and everything like that. We're also going to do alternative analytics. I have a list of every person in the Trump administration who is going to be in publicly traded companies, and we're going to provide that to them because they're very anti-establishment. They love learning about Congress. This is our tech: AWS, R, Python, React, and Plus. I'm very visually oriented, so are they. This is all going to be graphs. It's going to be me and an Amazon engineer. I can't tell you who he is because Amazon is one-track pony. They don't like moonlighting. But I am the researcher. He is the developer. Any questions? Why a school bus? Because I'm going to be taking them to school. Yeah, it has also some other names and everything like that, but I'm not going to repeat those here. Any other questions?
You asked us to ask you what was the difference between simulations and what?
Forecasting.
Forecasting.
Yes.
Tell us.
So simulations is adding random numbers to the trades and everything like that. It is showcasing a possibility through time of what the stock may do. Forecast is actually a mathematical calculation to what the stock will do. So a forecast, every time you run it, is going to give out the same numbers, the same result. A simulation is going to give a random result each time, still within its defined parameters, but to simulate, so to speak, like a random walk of what some stocks look like. Other questions?
So do these traders agree with you that they're shit at what they do?
I think some days they may say yes, and I think some days they may say no.
I'm just curious, why hasn't it been done before? The general consensus is they're bad at what they do.
So I do have competition, okay? There is optionsprofitcalculator.com. This guy has a website where he will calculate what the value of your option contract will be. And he hasn't changed the thing in like 11 years. I think there's a lot of room and such to better orient them to doing a little more complicated things in a simplified format and everything like that.
Do you have a sense of how you're going to target them, or what's your go-to-market strategy?
Oh yes, so I have a long list of marketing campaigns, but basically 3 big ones: memes, managed account, and also simulating and such people's trades that they post on this subreddit.
Are you doing any forecasting with digital currency?
Not yet, but my co-founder is very interested in digital currencies as well as the betting markets. There's a lot of time series analysis that can be done. Other questions?
How are you different from what's out there now? Like right now, I cannot remember the person's name. I can see his face because he's been all over social media, but he literally tracks everybody in Congress.
Sure, yeah.
Forecasts and does all that, and his app is blown up, literally blown up.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. They use 13F data, which is taking basically filings of who owns what in Congress and everything like that.
Okay.
I differentiate because I actually use social media to get the things that aren't being reported in those filings and everything. So
30 seconds left.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how do you verify that though? Social media. How do you find social media to be reliable?
So I can't quite tell you that. That's proprietary and everything like that.
Okay.
It's a bit of a trust me bro type situation there.
How do you, I'm just sitting here thinking, this seems like a perfect problem for AI.
Okay.
Well, that's time.
Our tons of data to be able to come up with predictive models and stuff. So, how do you?
I think that's part of the trust me bro.
Also proprietary, but these are very statistically oriented, not necessarily artificial intelligence.
I think you have to buy him a beer. Maybe a good one. Great presentation. Next we have Carolyn Spencer from COVID.
But we must wait for Lydia. I have no slides.
Oh, yeah.
I am the slide.
And love you.
Just kidding.
Yes, you have to watch a live one.
Lydia's on that social media.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wait for Lydia.
joke.
Oh, what?
Funny joke. Do it.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull something up.
What do you get when you
Love
cross
it.
an elephant with a rhino? Albino.
Get up there and tell some more.
we have a minute or two.
I'm a man behaving badly, so I got a lot of them.
Are you gonna leave that up there for everyone to see? Or does that have to be up there?
Do you want me to take it down?
Yeah, I think it would be distracting. If that's okay, if you don't need to screen share it. Yeah. That's, yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Picture.
How about the bills?
There we go. Thanks for contributing. Good job.
Absolutely.
+1.
Yeah.
No one else is a jokester? I know. I have no good jokes in my back pocket. The moment I fear most. Not having a funny joke. Did you find one yet?
Okay.
We gotta bookmark this.
So, for the technical people, there's a site called Daily Dev, and you get a newsletter, and at the bottom of their handle where they have the unsubscribe button, they have a joke. So that's why I like pause, because this one's not any. Well, maybe you'll like it. Why did the programmer's spouse file for divorce?
Why?
Irreconcilable similarities.
What are we waiting for?
The last judge, whoever just asked that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure everyone's here. Seems
There we
fair.
All right.
Started.
Oh,
Filling
We were filling it with bad jokes, so.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're a good start.
All right. My name's Carolyn, and I'm the CEO of Co-Pivot, and we're on a mission to make entrepreneurship simplified. So what does that mean? Starting a business is extremely overwhelming. I'm sure a lot of you can feel the connection with that as well. What we aim to do is help founders not get stuck and scattered in all the different resources, help them have very clear next steps, and not have a lot of unknowns. We aim to solve the problems that I mentioned, which is unclear next steps, a lot of resources that are scattered, by providing a guided platform that acts like a GPS. So we provide guided step-by-step instructions to help entrepreneurs validate their ideas, plan effectively, and launch their business with confidence. And the opportunity for this is massive. In the United States, there's over 1 million businesses being launched each year, and that number is growing due to recent trends. And on a global basis, we believe the market to be around $3 trillion for a global startup ecosystem, which we want to tap into with our tools and guidance. We are an AI platform where we provide practical workflows and curated resources. We make sure your next steps provided are clear, actionable, and scalable. We are a tech team. I didn't mention my partner Chad, who's over there, works on our AI ML, who will be able to answer the technical questions. We are a tech team who have actually struggled with being able to start and grow and ideate a business, not having a lot of clear answers on what to do next, and are we headed in the right direction. And we believe that every entrepreneur deserves the chance to succeed, and we're here to make that possible. Yes.
Are we monetizing?
Oh, how? I thought you said are you. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, so currently we have recently completed a pilot with the Golisano Institute of Business and Entrepreneurship. So we went through a ideation cohort with some of their students. Ideally, we will move into licensing in the long run as our software gets built, but we are in the sort of creation of some of the software. So B2B to C.
So I have a custom GPT that I built, which is a co-CEO GPT.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just wondering how what you do is different from what it is guiding you.
Absolutely different. So I think there's a couple different things, and I anticipated someone mentioning ChatGPT. So we actually leverage ChatGPT as part of some of the offerings that we have to actually reword things for some of our users. However, the key pieces that we think are really important, despite ChatGPT coming out, is the fact that ChatGPT doesn't explain to you why and the reasoning behind giving you the answers. And we think that is absolutely foundational for an entrepreneur to understand why these recommendations and next steps are being sent to that user, because otherwise they may not know if they get into the same situation again. The other piece is the relevant resources depending on the stage that you're at. ChatGPT may just promote the most commonly known resources because they get a lot of traffic on the internet, which may not be the most relevant for you, especially if you're an early stage startup where you're trying not to spend money. Yep.
How are you making sure that whatever information you are providing is current? As you know, the laws are changing per state, per county, per city.
Yeah.
So are you relying on AI to give that information to me, or how are you guys?
That's a really great question. I think in the long run, we would like to be integrating with and partnering with government institutions. We're connecting their most relevant information, licensing information, and requirements of that nature. That information is on like NewYorkState.gov, for example, but it's really hard to navigate. Most people don't realize that you need certain licenses for other things. Ideally, we would be able to partner with them and maintain that information. Good question.
In my experience of working with startups, I call it extremely situational.
Yes.
In terms of the problems they're dealing with based
Yep.
on the size of the startup, the market, the technology.
Yes.
So how do you, I'm trying to figure out how this can be
30
used to
seconds
their
left.
advantage to help them
Mm-hmm.
in a very
Absolutely.
diverse.
Yeah, just because of time, I'm going to cut you off and answer the question. So we are focused on early stage entrepreneurs, the people that are still exploring their ideas. We want to help them make sure that they actually have an idea that's worth exploring. They understand their audience. They know the financial need, that they, the financial aspects of what it takes to actually start the business before they actually go and continue to invest or go talk to an investor, which is often a downfall of what entrepreneurs encounter. They've never actually validated the idea and they don't have the right financing and misspend money. Thank you.
Do you guys take walk-ons?
Once we get through these, we'll see if we can fit
cool.
another one in. Thank you, though. Thank you, Carol. Great job. Melissa.
That's a neat little camera there. Is that part of the stand itself?
Pretty sweet, yeah. Like go.
Yeah, so go for volunteer.
Is that gonna be good for you? You got something to help you with it?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Don't start my time.
Yep.
Sorry.
I was like, if we have any videographers here, maybe.
Any videographers in the house? We have an emergency. Yeah, we're good.
Don't worry, iPhone, I still love you.
If somebody could elevate this table, that'd be great because I'm gonna be bending down, or I might. You know what? I'm truly.
There you go.
All right, I'm getting close. Awesome. So, this is a first. I've actually never taken my shoes off, but I highly recommend it. It feels great. Okay, I can touch the button without bending, and the button is.
Sorry, it's my setup. I've never tried to be shorter in my life.
It is.
Not a problem I have.
Okay, yeah, we're good. As long as.
I made it help.
Yeah, you had a different setup last time where I could click the video as well. There it is. Beautiful.
You're good to start.
Thank you. I can share this deck in 60 seconds. Let me tell you a story first. In 2020, I shared a pitch with Rochester Open Coffee Club. A man replied, "Wow, maybe you could be the next Oprah." I don't sound or look like Oprah, and nobody in this audience is going to be going home with a car. That day I decided that I would be the next Jim Carrey, because he, just like I, am unbothered. You can't catch imposter syndrome from me because I don't have it. And no is my favorite word. Here's how we're making moves. Truth is, people don't want trust falls for team building. We offer 3 products: the My Retreat app, wellness workshops for remote teams, and the C-Suite Retreat. This is for executives in the Grand Cayman Islands to summon bold confidence through daily masterminds, adventure, and cuisine at the Black Urchin Resort. We get paid $120 to pair chocolate with our app, $3,000 for our workshops to
30 seconds warning.
boost camaraderie and to get rid of silos, and $10,000 for our retreat where executives are in the Cayman Islands. So our promise is quality engagement and transformative experiences.
And that's time.
All right. What's that? Questions, answers.
Could you talk a little bit about your team and qualification?
Absolutely. So, thank you for that. I am a licensed master social worker, so I'm well positioned to meet clients where they're at in helping them to build sustainable wellness habits. My team includes our COO, who is an MBA from Cornell University. We have our app developer, Gazi. We have our EA, Lysandra, and our bookkeeper, Beth as well.
Have you run these retreats?
Yes, I have.
Many.
Which ones are you referring to? Grand Cayman?
Yeah.
This will be our 3rd. We sold out in 60 days, and we have another one in December.
How many seats per, how many?
We have a capacity for 18. We're starting with 7, so we sold out renting out a villa, and we can build up to having one of their properties that is for 18 people. And that would be more the B2B model of companies such as yours, right? Bringing your team out with us versus having individual C-suite executives come in.
What type of topics do you have?
So conflict resolution, of course, chocolate mindfulness, right? We got to talk about and experience eating chocolate mindfully. Physical health, mental well-being, and gratitude.
Is it fun?
Oh my. Our 3 pillars are connection, play, and rest. Yes. Yes.
Why is your chocolate so good?
Ooh, well, you've had it. Anyone who scans this QR code and explores your options, come up to me afterwards, and I have my business card is a piece of chocolate, so I'll let you experience it for yourself. But it's because we source from the best. Yes.
Are you based here in Rochester?
I am born and raised. Topophilia, it's real.
Okay.
How are you?
All right. A question from the crowd?
True story. Loophole.
Next up, we have Jonathan.
Mind if I grab like 5 or 10 of your cards by any chance? How are folks doing tonight? Good. Well, we got some really good pitches so far. We have to really work it to try to compete here. Yeah, that's right. Tell me when I'm starting time.
Yeah, you're good to start.
Hello folks, my name is John Hacker. I am the CEO of NerdGear, and I'm here today to present you the ZenBud. This is the first ultrasonic vagus nerve stimulator. Now, what does that, first off, there are over 242 million Americans that suffer from stress every year. And over 57.8 million people suffer from mental illness Our current solutions aren't amazing. They have side effects or they're massively unhealthy. Introducing the Zenba, the first ultrasonic VNS. This is a drug-free, painless, cost-effective solution. Using it 5 minutes a day, you see massive results for your stress resilience and your mental health. We'll get a bit more into the clinical data a little bit later. So here's the biggest impact. What you do, you have two systems in your body, fight or flight and rest and digest. And what we do by stimulating the vagus nerve is increase the activity of the rest and digest system, helping balance out an overactive fight or flight or stress response. We find that 80% of people are calmer within 5 minutes of use, and we see 84% lower anxiety scores over the course of 4 weeks. This is based off of a ton of research, and we've seen some pretty massive traction today. Here's some of the clinical data. Essentially, we see really great score reductions in anxiety, PTSD, depression, and sleep with time, seeing individuals go from severe to mild to minimal in anxiety in particular.
30 seconds left.
So we've had a great user base. We know who our customer is. There's a massive market for this. We have some competitors, but we beat them out with ultrasound versus shocking yourself, which is the current standard. This is our go-to-market timeline. We have ongoing clinical work with some top universities. We have a business model, our profit and loss, and then we're actually in the middle of a race right now. We have a term sheet on the table, and we're looking for follow-on. This is our team, myself, we have Dr. Kohler, Andrew, and Stan. The world deserves you, folks. Please help us.
Talk a little about your go-to market strategy and how are you finding the people that kind of feel this problem most?
For sure. So actually, when it comes to wellness products in particular, you want to trust somebody when you try something out. So our go-to-market strategy is largely around affiliate programs. So we've identified a good 25 different influencers and are currently working with them. They're using the devices right now and are going to be promoting it to their audience with their experience. That's one of our big pieces of the go-to-market strategy. And this also helps because we don't have much upfront cost. Our cost is loading the unit. We don't have to pay them to go out to their audience and essentially sell what we do. The other side is medical go-to-market, and we're still a good 1.5 years from that. It requires approvals, which we're still working on now.
What's the cost?
This is $390 per unit. For the affiliates, we give them 15% of the revenue. So it's around, in total, it's around a 74% take for us.
74%.
Yeah. Question?
You may have mentioned it, and you have patents on this technology?
Yes, we have 4 different patents on this technology. We've protected the hell out of it. You can actually see Stan over there. He's our CTO. He's also patent guru, over 242 published patents. He worked with Kodak back in the day. So we did a good job.
So how much does the unit cost you to manufacture, and where do you do that?
So it costs us around $100 per unit right now, and we manufacture it here in Rochester, Fortnite. We are talking with a couple of contract manufacturers in Syracuse and Buffalo to outsource that for the next phase. Because we have a limited amount of production that we can do.
Is there a recurring revenue model?
There is actually. So there's 2 different pieces of recurring revenue. There is the silicone tip, which goes on the device and helps with contact, and there's ultrasound gel that you can use with the device. And they both provide a piece of recurring revenue. We're currently in development for an app piece, and with premium and community features, which is a 3rd source of recurring revenue, but that's still in process.
Insurance coverage or FSA?
That's down the line, and that's with the medical go-to-market. I do want to make something clear here. The Zenba device that we sell wellness-wise, we don't make medical claims with. We do have clinical data with it, which is showing really promising results, but we can't until we go through FDA approval, which takes time. But we are pursuing reimbursement, and there's actually a HCPSC code that we've already identified that we want to work underneath.
Cool. Is there, like, how long until is it an instant relief once you put it on, or do you have to use it for a while?
30 seconds
Do you ever
left.
get sort of numb to its effects? Is there
So you don't get numb to its effects, but it will help bring you back to a more healthier baseline with time, and after that, it's really more maintenance. We see the best results, consistent use, 5 minutes a day, every day. Around 80% see the results within the first week when it comes to the medical side, anxiety, PTSD, depression. But we do find that individuals typically will see an immediate effect as well after the 5 minutes. But really, it is something you have to use consistently
And
for to
that's
see the
time.
best results. Thank you.
Next up, we have Connor. Great job, Jonathan. Maybe some of your customers will be the same as Caitlin's customers that have investing troubles. Maybe they need to redeem themselves. Is it PowerPoint?
Yeah, I don't think I have it. Hello everybody, I'm Connor. I'm CEO and co-founder of Lock, and at Lock our goal is to provide seamless and secure access into everything on the internet. And that sounds kind of naive, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to do that. We're going to do it with something called continual authentication, which is different from traditional authentication in that it doesn't happen at a discrete point in time. It happens in the background using passive biometrics all the time. The primary passive biometrics we focus on are typing, gait, and internet usage. And 80% of successful hacks stem from phishing attacks, according to Verizon. With continual authentication, there's nothing to phish. There's no password, there's no secret key, and importantly, there's no long-lived session to steal. We currently have our wedge, our MVP, is a password manager to bridge the gap between legacy applications and integrating our API. And we have, just today, we launched Lock Armory, which is our enterprise version, and it's only $2 per user per month, and it has password management features and phishing protection. And we're currently building out our machine learning models for the continual authentication and working on NSF grants. This is a screenshot of our enterprise password management solution. Again, we launched that today. And then we have Lock ID, which is our consumer version, which is on the app stores, and it just is a password manager and encrypted file manager. We've been doing this for 3 years. We started in 2022, and we've done a lot of research. We have a white paper out in early product development. 2023, we made a team change, and now I have 2 co-founders.
30 seconds left.
In 2024, this year, we have our typing model at 95% accuracy over just 30 characters. So if you think of an email, how many characters that is, the accuracy scales exponentially, so it's a lot more secure than a password. And for enterprises, that matters a lot. We got on the App Store, and as I said, we're currently working on an NSF grant. So thank you very much. Looking for potential angel investors or even better, customers. Thank you.
So there's a lot of password managers out there.
Yes, sir.
And it's a big barrier to jump from one to another. How do you anticipate getting customers to switch?
Yeah, so I'm in talks with a few businesses. We've built everything so you can import it very easily. We just have a CSV file, it runs it in, and they import. And then the differentiator for the other password managers is our phishing model that protects against phishing attacks, and the continual authentication, which improves security for businesses. Every IT department in the world right now is worried about phishing, and our solution helps combat that significantly.
So you're primarily B2B play?
We actually pivoted in 2024 to become a B2B play. Yes, originally it was
Your pricing
consumer.
slide was consumer, right?
Yes, it was consumer, and then we switched over to B2B. Still have the consumer product as well. It's the same product, it's just we built an admin console on top of it.
So you capture 3 different types of biometrics. Where it makes sense, how do you capture the other ones?
Mobile app, using your phone.
This way.
Yeah, and we're also in the works. This one's further down the line of building a VPN, so we can get your packets and we can depack and inspect all of them and then re-encrypt them all.
You said gate?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so typing while you're on your computer, gate when you're away from your computer. Either way, we're getting a continual stream rather than just a discrete login. Because if you log in somewhere, you're given a token that shows that you're logged in. That could last as long as a year. Somebody can steal that token. They don't even need to get your password. All they need is that token. Our tokens, we're just trying to shorten those to as slow as they can, as short as they can be, ideally on a per action basis. That's what the NSF grant is about. So you do one action, you're authenticated. You do another action, you're authenticated. A lot less surface area for attack.
How many enterprise clients do you have?
We just launched today. We don't have any. We have a few consumer clients. We're working on onboarding a business. I hear
ITX is interested.
No, congrats on the launch. Can you,
Thank you.
And obviously you pivoted sort of the strategy a few times
Yes, sir.
for how you're going to bring it to market. Can you talk about your plan for bringing it to market now?
Yeah, it's a great question. Initially, I thought that it had to come from a consumer side, but truth be told, there's just not as much money in that from a security perspective, so we transitioned to businesses. We're working on a Hacker News launch, and then from there, I want to start geographically, actually, in Rochester, and talk to local companies and grow it
somewhat slowly at first until it's working really well. And then with the continual authentication, if we can get that on the consumer version and then make the consumer version free. So completely free consumer product, upsell to enterprise.
Yeah. The box.net strategy. People use it and they'll tell their.
Make it free. Now, hard to compete with free. So.
You got 30 seconds left.
Any other questions?
Hard to pay your mortgage with free.
How is the authentication structured? I mean, is there something giving a signal somehow?
Yes, whatever device you're using, be it your phone, your laptop, you would download the app and the browser extension.
If I lose my device or it's stolen, then it's screwed.
Well, actually, our product is better against that than 2FA, because if you lose your device at 2FA, you could get locked out completely. With ours, you can regain access on a different device. So, yeah, thank you.
So if my kid takes my phone and watches Bluey all day on it, then I have to replicate that motion to come off.
Well, there's something called biometric aging. In that case, yeah, you would get locked out.
Maybe I give you a test case here.
Yeah, that'd be great. There's a lot of edge cases, that's for sure.
Sorry, I digress. Thank you, Connor. Next we have Pretend Partners. And you don't have any slides?
No. Yeah, well, I've been surprised. Yeah, of course. I've been surprised that with 95% accuracy over just 30 characters, which is 2 words basically. So if you type out an email, you're getting an explanation. And then, yeah, no, it is a feasibility question. We can get enough signals in it to work. We don't want to get so. And part of the answer is actually formally modeling it to see how much.
Oh, yeah, okay, so sorry, yes, that's right.
Getting quantitative metrics
Correct.
of that, which doesn't exist. I mean, keystroke dynamic range typing has been around since literally World War II, and it works, but is it going to be enough? We don't necessarily.
Cool. You're good to start.
But this is a 3D printed lattice structure made of carbon fiber composites. So light that you can lift it with your fingers, but it's so strong that you can stand on it and probably jump on it. Now we are at Prism, our company, is looking to use these lattice structures to replace honeycomb material that are used in aerospace and defense. Currently, through hundreds of customer discovery interviews with project managers, we found out that they use rectangular honeycomb panels 10 to 12 feet long that have to be machined and formed into shapes like this. That leads to production cost and weeks of lead time. We are solving that problem with the help of robotics, 3D printing, and artificial intelligence to print these lattice structures directly into the shape that is required. This helps us reduce the production time by half, and our material is 20% stronger than the current honeycombs that are used. On top of that, our materials are also smart, which means project managers can use digital tools to monitor the structural health of the structures. We have raised over $700,000 in research funding up to date from Department of Defense, NSF, and other agencies. And we are looking to raise a seed funding of $10 million to generate a revenue of $50 million over the next 5 years. Our team is highly qualified to develop this technology. This technology came out of my PhD research over 7 years. And we have 4 engineers working on this who have master's and PhD degrees. Our value proposition is clear. We are delivering higher performance materials that are 20% stronger at half the production time and are smarter.
So you said you're using AI to actually generate the
Design
structures?
Yes.
What AI?
It's called generative design. So you present the load cases where the loads in the structures are happening, and the AI uses that load to calculate the most optimized lightweight design that can be manufactured.
Can you talk a little bit about go-to-market strategy and how you're trying to bring this out to the market? Are you targeting an acquisition, or are you trying to sell directly to the buyers that need these?
We are selling directly to buyers. For us, we have been exhibiting at trade shows and conferences. That's where we have got customers, and we have started 2 pilot projects, one with the Air Force and one with another big aerospace company called Textron Aviation. And we are in talks with Raytheon and Lockheed Martin to begin more pilot projects with them.
Any other?
Can I try jumping on that?
Yeah. I don't want to break it. You can stand on it.
Hey, while he's jumping and potentially breaking it, what materials have you added to? Like, have you tried carbon fiber? Like, does it change your dynamics?
Yeah, the material has carbon fiber, but we can use glass fiber and other different kind of filler materials. Currently, we are doing only thermoplastics, but we have started R&D project to make it out of metals too.
Okay. There's some cool stuff happening in metal.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah.
Is it less expensive to produce the shape that I need directly than it is to buy the substrate and cut it down?
Yes. Because the material that we are buying is, if it's composites, to cut it down, you are wasting a lot of material that is very expensive.
And that's the primary cost.
That is the primary cost. Yes.
3D printed? Are you selling customers so they can make their own, or are you manufacturing it for them?
Can you repeat the question?
Are you selling people systems where they make their own, or are you manufacturing and shipping it?
We are manufacturing and shipping it because we have a patented technology. We have got the patent on it. So there's no one else who can make this structure like we do.
Could you make it, like put it on your software on have an app and a 3D printer and sell that to a company and they?
No, we have patented both software and hardware. So anyone would need our hardware to manufacture that. So our product business model is a manufacturer who sells parts to the companies that are willing to buy them.
It's mostly aviation.
Aviation and defense. So we have another pending contract with the Navy where they are looking to lightweight combat vehicles because they're quite heavy now to make them more fuel efficient. So anything that needs to be lightweight and made with sandwich structures.
And that's time.
Next we have up is Masoom here. Masoom. You sent more than one deck? All right. Here you go. Can I also get the browser? Yes? Browser too. Yeah. Let's show them the link. Oh, okay. Go for it. Hold on. New tab. Hey.
Oh.
Where's that? Not a Mac guy, huh? Oh, so what are you looking for? It is. Yeah. Sure? All right. Do you want me to put that presentation mode or are you going to switch? You want to switch between them? This is fine. All right.
All right, you're good to start.
All right. Remember the good old days? You're fresh out of college, and the whole world was your oyster, and you had no clue how to go get out in the world and make money. How stressful was that? So, finding a job, and particularly job interviews, one of the most stressful things one of the most life-changing things that happens in your life and your career. And everybody finds it hard, and particularly young generation and Gen Z find it extremely difficult to do the job interview. And there's a tremendous market there. In 2023, some survey found that 96% of the workers who already have a job, they were actively looking for other jobs. And the people continually keep looking for a job even if they have one. But the process of finding a job interview is so stressful. What if we could turn the process of finding it and the job interview as easy as playing a video game? And that's where our company comes in. Our company is Sentient.io. And we built a virtual avatar platform driven by generative AI, where you can talk to a number of virtual coaches who will guide you through the job process. You can choose your own job, and you can upload your resume, and our AI avatars, hyper-realistic avatar, will take face-to-face interviews, simulating the exact job interview that you will take. And you can practice it as many times as you want until you get better, and then go out there and conquer the world. And our target customers are Gen Z, and we have an amazing team of 7 people right now. We figured out the scaling of our system. It is infinitely scalable in Microsoft Azure, and we're hoping to do a launch in this month, end of this month, when the colleges start.
And that's time?
Yeah, that's it.
Talk a little bit about the business model and how you're going to generate revenues.
Okay, so our first stage of project is going to be B2C, where we will charge a subscription model to the user. One example pricing is $49.99 for a premium mode, where a person would have a 30-hour of job interview time, and then after each interview we will track their behavior and give them analytics, and then that analytics they can view for any amount of time, but the interview time is, the interaction with the avatar is going to be 30 hours. We will have student discount, and we will have some other options like day pass, where you get unlimited access for all day for $8.99.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask if you found that unemployed people are willing to pay that.
Can you talk about your team a little bit?
Yeah. So most of us, I'm a PhD student, and I've been working on AI for over 6 years now. And I have a DevOps engineer, and he changed the game made our whole project scalable. And and most of the other team members are developers, along with UX UI UX designers.
Can you talk a little bit about your competitive landscape? Who else is doing this? I know
Yes.
just ChatGPT.
Yeah,
What's the
there are a number of companies who are doing this, but none of them are doing the way that the way we are. There are several companies who are giving human coaches. They pair you with an actual human who would take your 60-minute job interview, and they charge an outrageous amount, like $200 for a 60-minute interview, where our product is for $30 or $50, you get it for a month. And of course, we'll have more discounts. So it's a lot more affordable. There's nothing out there, and the only way to know how good it really is to actually see it. But it's a short demo, short pitch.
So how are you handling the language model? Because I have yet to find an AI coach or avatar that isn't homogenous with everybody else. It's a challenge. Because I'll tell you, I mentor a lot of 20-somethings.
Okay.
All their resumes look the same. I always know right away. I'm like, yeah, you used AI. Okay, they're all the same. And to me, that's the biggest problem. So how do you deal with the language problem, the language model you have?
30 seconds left.
We will do a lot of personalized prompt, and also we'll have a database where we will have our own information curated from the database. So the language model, although the language itself will be a little bit vanilla, you know how ChatGPT talks, the style is going to be the same, but the content is what sets us apart. And that's one of the reasons we have many ideas in the beginning, language learning, speed dating, training doctors. We have many ideas.
That's
The reason we did interviews because you can get away with a little bit of vanilla talking.
All right, good job. Can we play with those while the judges go on break? Can you show one of those?
Do you want to see it right now?
When we go on break. Thank you. All right, next up we have our remote caller. So, Velazar, can you hear us? Yeah, I'm gonna crank your volume up. I don't know how to make it. Got the big screen. We're just gonna have to.
Should we text him when it's
Do you
time?
want me to share my slides, or do you have my slides that I sent you?
Do you have access to your own share screen? Because then you can control the clicking through it. That's And it's your choice, but I'm sure everyone here would love to see your beautiful face.
I am on really bad internet right now, so
Alright.
I'm gonna keep my camera off for the sake of activity.
I'm gonna flip mine. Alright, we see your slides. Are you feeling comfortable?
Oh yeah.
All right.
And I may not be able to hear the judges for questions, but do my best there as well.
I'll jump back up here and repeat them if I need to. Just real quick, Josh, can you give a call out?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great.
All right, you're up.
Awesome, let's go. So, hey everyone, I'm Belazar, and I am one of the founders of Assess Cloud Skills. So, Assess Cloud Skills really came from my own struggle during hiring, specifically hiring people with cloud knowledge. So, platforms like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, they are very in-depth, require a high level of technical knowledge on the networking side, as well as just in general for all of the different services that they offer. And a lot of the things that I found were most candidates really lack a certain level of specialized knowledge, whether it's for a specific cloud platform or a specific service under that platform. Additionally, all of these platforms offer certifications, and the theoretical knowledge that you learn and that you have to show for it through a certification doesn't always equal practical knowledge. Along with that, cloud technology evolves so quickly that it's never a guarantee that what you know today is going to be the same as 6 months, a year from now. So the solution here that I have been working on with a couple of folks is essentially assessments for job candidates that hiring managers can send out, and they are specific and specialized for cloud knowledge. And that's where Assess Cloud Skills comes in. Hiring managers can send out assessments to candidates, and they can respond, usually about 20 to 30 questions.
You got 30 seconds
hiring
left.
managers can see the answers from each candidate, and they can get an idea of who scored and what level their knowledge is. And they can use it as part of the hiring process. And that's my pitch.
So how big is the cloud knowledge market?
Great question. So as far as the cloud market goes, it's fairly large. When it comes to AWS, they have somewhere between 2 million and 3 million enterprise customers, all the way from small startups to large enterprise organizations. And multiply that across other clouds like Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, and so on and so forth. As far as assessment when it comes to cloud specifically, not so much. Each platform has their own certification and quiz processes that they offer to folks. But as far as assessment platforms that focus purely on cloud, I wasn't able to actually find them. Platforms like Test Gorilla and others similar to that.
Well, I guess what I'm asking though is how many people, yeah, I guess what I'm asking is how many people, how many applicants are there per year, or is it per quarter? Like what's the,
I have not looked into it that deep. I've been looking at it more so at the level of companies hiring, and it's in the hundreds of thousands per quarter that companies are looking for cloud administrators, DevOps folks, and folks focused on cloud.
So is your business model a per candidate, or is it a subscription? Or
so to start off, We're keeping it very, very simple. It's $49 per 10 assessments that are sent out, and just keeping it simple and expanding out from there. Any other questions?
Is it live now? Do you have paying customers?
It will be live at the end of this month, actually. This is something that I've been working on for a little while now. I've had to stop and start a few times just because of everything else on my plate. But finally, it will be live at the end of this month. We will be going live on AWS Marketplace. We will be launching on AppSumo, as well as a few other marketplace listings, just to get the word out. And along with that, we will be working closely with cloud platforms, so becoming an
30
AWS
seconds
partner,
left.
becoming an Azure partner, to sell out and have these cloud platforms sell us directly to their own customers and be a part of their ecosystem.
Can you talk a little bit about what's proprietary or unique about scoring or anything like that?
So as far as the questions go, they will be unique questions. Obviously, AWS, other platforms have their own practice tests, have their own knowledge bases full of information. We're going through and we're building assessments that are specific to the types of roles that people are hiring for, as well as the specific certifications that these platforms have out there. So for example,
And that's a wrap, Validar. All right, we have 2 bonus pitches that came in at the 11th hour. So next up we have Sean from Ex-Primary?
Ex-primary in the Latin, but ex-primary, which means from the basics, by the way. So,
You sent slides? Yeah.
I did. While he's doing this, I'm gonna jam 20 minutes of slide into 2 minutes. I'm not gonna talk really fast, so I hope your visual acuity is good and you don't get sick by moving through slides.
Is this the right one?
You start up top.
Sorry, I didn't give you the time.
Excellent. So, yeah. So the timer's gone. Oh,
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So I'm Sean. I'm one of the co-founders of Ex-Primary. I'm a 30-year industry veteran out of the pharma and biotech world in the analytical side, including running late-stage human clinical trials for large molecules. So all those big molecules that sell a lot, I have my fingerprints on them somewhere in this world. So what we realized was that there was a real problem with the analytical tools. They're super expensive, they're inaccessible, and so we set out to change that. And so that is the core problem, is that the instruments are big, expensive, they take up giant rooms, they have dedicated computers, IT support with all that, and we're changing that by lowering the cost of the analytical tools radically, using sensors and illumination sources from other industries. So automotive industry makes very high volume, low cost stuff. We use that instead of making custom things. So custom is the worst word in my vocabulary right now. So we have a very large market. The TAM is actually in excess of $1 trillion annually of the tools. So we have 9 families, 13 instruments that we've gone through some level of prototyping. We are launching our first instrument full commercial as we speak. It will be out by the end of the month. With that, we have about a $30 billion SAM. We think that is also our SOM, but we think we expand the market because of the cost of the tools. So we're 1/10 of the cost or lower of the existing instruments. Some of them are looking to be 1/100th of the cost. So I'm going to jump to, this is the Q-Spec 9 channel. This is the first one out. You'll see the size and form factor. I'm going to jump to a really important factor here. And it is, we're creating data. And we have a very large growth potential to overlay SaaS. So there's a lot of people creating SaaS programs to work on your health, but they got crap data or
And that's fine.
Shit data.
So there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
So who buys it?
So our entry market is pharma, biotech. I know them. So we have existing and inked agreements, so joint development agreements and distribution agreements that include co-marketing. So we don't give up any VIG on our instruments, but we get a VIG on the assay content, the wetware. So we do hardware, software, and wetware. And so that's our entry point, but Genesee Brewery has a $50 million analytical group, right? From an instrumentation point of view. So every brewer, every winemaker, everybody who makes yogurt, they grow. Anything that touches life science in any level. And then we also, the spectrophotometry tools, machine oils, motor oils, right? Debris in it, they're doing scatter. So we touch a lot of spaces. Obviously, we don't want to be diluted by all that. So our entry point is what we know, is pharma and biotech.
1/10 the cost and
Yep.
1/100 the size.
So size, yeah, like 10th of the size. The best performing tool is 1/10 the cost. Sorry, the worst performing tool is 1/10 the cost. The best is right around 100.
And the accuracy is the same or better?
Yep, we will not, so if you have Theranos in your head, good for you. Because that thesis was right. I'm not a 19-year-old college dropout. So we know exactly what we're doing, and we know that we're gonna do third-party testing of every instrument that we put out before it ever sees the light of day. Because I never wanna be in that situation. I have a lot of capital out there globally, and I'm never gonna give that up.
Tell us about manufacturing and the volume.
Yep, so we spend a lot of time on DFMA, and that's exactly how we lower the cost. It's one of the huge pieces. So that instrument that you saw, the QSpec, it actually literally snaps together in 2 minutes. So we use, when we do our projections, we use 15 minutes. And so an individual can put 6,000 together in a 40-week year, 8 hours a day, right? So that's our, we spend a lot of time on DFMA. It's designed for manufacturing and assembly, if anybody doesn't know.
How do you validate the accuracy of the system?
Yep, so that is my deep expertise. So I'm a global expert in multiplex analytical.
30 seconds left.
And so we use all the standard technologies out there. The tool that you saw right there, the QSpec, it's relativistic. So you have a blank and you're relative to the blank. So if it's an aqueous solution, put some water in there and you test against the water. So if you've seen anybody test their pool water, right? That's what that thing is.
And that's time.
All right. To wrap it up, we have Halima. How do you like your name?
Halima.
Halima?
Yes.
Did you give me slides too?
I sent it as an attachment in email, but I could just speak to you.
This was VR.
Yes.
Send me one and I downloaded a bunch. Does this look right?
Yes.
All right. Here. All right. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Halima, and I am the founder and principal engineer of VR Revelation. VR Revelation is a virtual reality arcade and virtual reality application development center. We currently host parties, team development, corporate events, gaming tournaments, and all types of gaming events. Okay. What I want to happen with virtual reality and the exponential development of the industry is to have a brick and mortar facility where people can go for entertainment, but also at the same time have specific applications developed for their workspaces. So I want VR Revelation to come up with hospital administrators want to develop specific applications for their operations, or the doctors in their operating rooms actually utilizing the headsets. I want VR Revelation to come up not just for arcades, but when industrial manufacturing want to actually develop applications for their maintenance technicians on the floor. When a teacher wants to come up with an idea for students to have a school trip, I want them to think of VR
30 seconds
Revelation
left.
for where the kids can actually go there in the beginning of the trip. They can use Minecraft education to learn Python coding. At the end of the trip, they can get on roller coaster simulators and play virtual reality games. So with the largest tech companies in the world building out platforms to actually support the hardware for virtual reality that they're trying to perfect, virtual reality headsets are going to become very popular
And that's time.
very soon. Okay. And I want VR Revelation to be the place that people go to when they want to put their headsets on and go outside.
Yeah, wait, stay.
Oh, okay,
We
yeah.
have 3 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
So do you already have some of this in operation that
Yes.
people can see in Rochester?
Yes.
Here, I'll.
Okay, yes, if you can bring the slides back. Oh, okay, that's it? Yeah.
and down here?
Okay. So this is just a concept for different type of collaborations, but this is the actual arcade. So we went from this brick and mortar space, and in a matter of a month, we turned it into an actual arcade.
You have it already?
Yeah, this is it there.
Here?
From, and then two. That's the actual arcade. It's located in Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo.
Yes.
Okay.
So we host parties, corporate team building events, gaming tournaments, and gaming premieres.
And so you're looking to leverage the fact that you have this brick and mortar space and all of this tech into other industries?
Correct.
Got it.
To actually build specific applications where if a hospital wanted to have a specific application built, me as an electronics engineer and application developer, we can build their application, actually have a place for their staff to come, get familiar with the technology, and have fun while they're learning their new application.
Gotcha.
Can people play applications that you built at the gaming?
Yes,
arcade?
we have an application that we've already built called Cat on a Tank. And it is where a cat is on a tank and it's rolling through the arcade, having a good time, collecting fish bones, and we've deployed it onto the headsets. So you can get it on the headset and anything you want.
So part of the value proposition is not just the studio, but like, let's make something together and you can come bring people out to experience it.
Exactly. With the exponential development of virtual reality tech, the applications are coming. People are going to need specific applications for their need, and it's already happening in manufacturing, in the medical field. It's happening in schools and colleges. Everyone is starting to take a little bit of a look at virtual reality as a training tool and an educational tool.
So is your idea like a franchise? Or?
Yes. Yes. I don't think it should just be one location because tech companies did try to deploy the headsets. They were at a price point that people could not
30
grasp.
seconds left.
Now that they're coming down, they're going to be all over the place. So these type of infrastructure centers need to be there too. And startups can be looked at as more than just software and now actual brick and mortar place. Yes.
This is awesome. How's revenue? How's growth at the facility?
Growth is slow because of where I located the space. It's in a strip mall. If it was in a place like Clifton Hill, where Canada, where Niagara Falls is, or maybe Pigeon Forge or Atlantic City, it would be a much more robust foot traffic type of setting. Thank you for your patience.
Great job. Our last pitch, unless there's any more walk-ons, we would have had one during the presentation, during the pitches on a pitch.
Hello. Okay, let's go.
Quickly, what's your name, what's your startup?
My name is Stanley Stevenson, and we'll call it Gingerbread Flip.
So my name is Stanley Stevenson. I've been a technologist in the area for about 40 years, and I'm a prolific inventor. I've got over 180 U.S. patents or whatever. I'm helping out with nerd gear. So how many here have ever built a gingerbread house? Can I just have a show of hands? It's okay if you don't. Okay. So a lot of you will understand what I'm talking about. So my nightmare is building a gingerbread house. So my wife wants to do this every year. So the last time I did, I built a gingerbread shack. It was a disaster. And the reason why is you have these cardboard or these gingerbread plaques that you have to glue together with something called royal frosting, and it's never correct. So normally you buy a kit with this stuff in it and the royal frosting, and you try to put it together, and you try to, and it flops down. So I swore, because she said we're going to do it this year, and I was not going to do it. So as an engineer, I thought, why can't we just clip the parts together? So as a developer, and you can see the clips in here, why can't we just clip these parts together with some clips? So I designed these clips, and so you take the things, you clip them together, and it worked. It took a couple of iterations, but it worked. So I thought, well, gee, put it on Etsy, right? People really like it. But, well, certainly somebody must have invented this, right? I mean, come on, how many engineers are out there? How many people are tortured with the gingerbread houses? So they weren't. So I just 3D printed these little clips up, and it worked. And so I put it together. I had a great house. It looked great. So I, because I'm a prolific inventor, I write my own patents and do a very intensive searches. I looked at it and said, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? And I couldn't find anything. So a couple of weeks ago, I filed my own inventions. I decided to file an invention on these clips to hold them together. And so that's kind of my idea. So I filed a provisional, which is very inexpensive. And I've got 1 year on the clock to connect with some of these people. And so I also did some background search because certainly there must be another way. What?
That was time.
What?
That was time. 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, there you go.
Q&A.
Yes, sir.
Are the clips edible?
They're not, but in the application they could be, and there's some reasons for that, because when you take a look at organic materials, you have a choice of either sugar, which is kind of a crystalline, and what you want to do is get some flexure. Yeah. Number one. Number two, let's see, the other one would be, let's see, there was one other material which escapes me, more flexible, like a gelatin type structure. Also, and that's the problem with the royal frosting is the manufacturers package this up in a package and it dries out, or my wife will mix it up, and chemically it's a nightmare.
Yeah. I feel the pain. I did this.
So what happens? So they sell all these kits in the they sell all the kits in the store, and the wives buy it. The really good housewives will take it and glue them together with cans the day before, but that never happens. It's like, here's this nightmare kit that you're flipping open. And then you got to try to make the frosting, and then you can use rubber bands to try to hold it together, but the rubber will collapse, you know, because it's got some luminosity to it. So my goal is to be able to take the patent. So there's about 5 or 6 companies that are selling these kits. Now, if it goes on to Etsy, I have no problem with it, but it's the people with the nightmarish kits. So I'm figuring what I'm looking for basically is to approach the 5 companies and ask for either they could have an exclusive license for a lot of money, but I think it will be very competitive, because if you put the idea of these clips on there, it's instantly understandable what you've got. So it's a phenomenally leverageable advantage. So there's a variety of different models, including something, for instance, is manufacturing the clips like on a plastic tree, where you just, you can ship them 10,000 of these things, and they just throw that into the package, put it on the front, and you can get royalties either after the material flow or license it to do that. But I think it's actually better to be able to make that and sell them, and here's why. You would have to go to 5 or 6, it's a half a dozen manufacturers to be able to, they would have to get an engineer together and put all that together, whereas I think it's advantageous for them to say, hey, look, we've got a system that works. So I don't know where exactly how this is going to play out. I've got a year to do that, but next thing to do is to do some presentations and try to get some licensing money, because I want to try to do this internationally also. Like, for instance, Northern European countries or other countries that do that. And then there's also what got you, which is like, well, it's 1924. there was this little
30
patent where I did
seconds.
an article with clips in it. Then you're in trouble. So I want to go slow on this and fast, depending on what's happening. That's it. I don't want to go any farther if there's gotcha. All right.